at the top, the official poo song of Mexico. Hot from the intro, Splurge Boys. Wow, disgusting. And Warm, Drea's Lali Bye Baby. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Lali, really?
Lali Bye Baby. Good on me. That's fucking horrible. Nads, what's your relationship to Heath Ledger? You touched on that before.
Heath was my stepbrother. So my mum is married to beautiful Kim, who was Heath's dad. And they got together when I was about, I would have been 14, 15 years old. Got married. And he's also got two beautiful daughters, Olivia and Katie. So Heath was sort of around for a while.
And you were 13, 14.
Meeting Heath Ledger
after just done like
10 Things I Hate About You.
Exactly.
One of my favourite movies at the time. So I remember meeting Kim being like, oh my God, we're meeting Heath Ledger's dad. And I remember the first time actually meeting, when I met Heath, he was in Perth. He flew in for about a week, and I walked into the room and I remember I was just a baby. I would have been 14, 15 years old, and I couldn't look at him. He was just sitting on this couch, and I was like, who is this big, because he was very tall, and I was like, who is this big man sitting on the couch? And I couldn't look at him, but he was so beautiful. He was beautiful. He was, Kim always says that Heath reminds him a lot of Tom. I think it's like the deepness and the creative side and the warmth that Tom has. I don't know. So they're very similar in there. They both love music and the arts and all that stuff. So
a couple of those records up there are Heath Ledger specials, and that Ice Bucket Over Your Shoulder. He had impeccable taste.
Very good taste in music. Yeah. He also did a lot of he did a few music clips back in the day. He created one for Infa from 1200 Techniques. Don't know if anyone remembers them.
Wow.
But he did some beautiful music.
Actually met Infa the other day.
Yeah, we met Infa. Shout out to Infa.
Yeah.
He lives in Melbourne.
He'd come on the pod one day for sure.
Yeah, we'll get him on. But he was very creative in that sense. So he did like a lot of music video clips and stuff, and just he was incredible.
He actually, before he passed away, he started up a production company called The Masses.
The Masses, yep.
And he was very, very switched on in terms of, you know, and ethical and philosophical about like why you'd call it The Masses and how media worked. Like he was just so deep. But Kim actually sent it to me the other day. And
The Masses?
Yeah, like he sort of sent me this little pamphlet. It was like a pitch for them to capital raise, or it was almost like their current bunch of work, and outlined what they're doing. I wish I could find it right now, but it was really interesting because it was, he was really getting into film production for like, he did some stuff with Modest Mouse. He made this really cool video clip that Kim showed me, and it's about this whaling. It's a Modest Mouse song. We'll find it. But Bon Iver,
yes, they wrote a song when Heath passed, actually.
Just a bunch of really cool artists, and it would have been amazing to see what he'd achieved had he lived a little bit longer. But it's actually a discussion that I often have with Kim, Nadia's stepfather, who's my stepfather-in-law, about how life, you know, has to be seen as complete, you know, and whole as one. You can't separate, especially in the case of Heath Ledger. Oscar-winning actor, Batman.
One for
like
Batman.
Dark
Dark Knight. Yeah.
Right?
Sorry.
So Brokeback Mountain, so many amazing things, and sort of go, oh, if only, you know, we got a bit more or it was a bit longer. It's actually, no, that life is complete in itself and beautiful in itself. And
in what he achieved in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, so I sort of bite my tongue a bit while I say, it would have been, you know, amazing to see what, especially musical style production stuff he would have done had he continued to live a little bit longer. But far out, I think what a life that man lived. And you were in LA for the opening or awards for Heath
the
Ledger?
Heath Ledger Scholarship they do in LA. So it's for young actors, up-and-coming actors. And so we were there for one to present the award. And that's where you sent me the song, Warm. And we were in LA at the time, and Tom was playing finals and he got into the grand final while I was in LA. And so I was like, well, I'm coming
Yeah,
to
shit,
watch you play in the grand
gotta get
final.
home, yeah.
And Tom was like, you just deal with it. Like, I don't want to deal with it. You just have to, like, speak to my mum. And I hadn't met Tom's family yet. So we were in an LA pub, I think, watching the, like, semi-final.
With your brother-in-law, Jimmy Habishin.
With Jimmy and my sister, my mum and everyone. And we literally had to pay this man at the bar to play the football. And by the end of it, this whole pub in America was just like, what are we watching? And everyone was going for the Eagles. It was so funny. But, yeah, we were watching the semi-final and Tom got in. And, yeah, so I flew from LA with Jimmy, who's my brother-in-law. And we both went to the grand final together. And I flew in that night. And then in that morning, I had to meet Tom's mum and Granny Danny. And I met Tom's dad and I met Ali.
Yeah.
Ali came up to my room to meet me, to, like, chill me out because I was so nervous.
And she would have been so good at chilling you out.
Oh, she was so good.
Yes.
She was kind of like, are you nervous? 'Cause I'm really nervous for you to meet, like, my mum and dad. And I was like,
But
shit.
she said that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah. And she was like, it's okay. And then, like, just as I was about to meet them, she was like, are you all right, Naz? I'm like, you're stressing me out more.
We knew we had a good one.
Yeah.
We knew we had a good
Yeah.
one. She would have been like, oh, my God. Again, I'm invested in Nadia.
Yeah, so we all caught a tram together. I met them in the lobby of this hotel and caught a tram and went and watched Tom play.
What a beautiful day to meet.
It was.
the
It was
family and all
amazing.
share that core memory together.
And I've got a beautiful video, actually, of when Tom won. I, like, ran over, with Darcy. I was sitting with Tom's best friend and Tom's dad and mum and Ali were all sitting, and Ted, further up, and I went up to film, like, their reaction, like, in the last minute when they won. And it was the best. Like, the happiness on everyone's face. It was beautiful.
It was my dad and Darcy crying. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, it was so magical. And it's also got this splash of just, like, complete and utter disbelief. You know, it's
Still?
like Darcy spoke about. No, not still. But at the time, you just don't realise what's happening, and it's a game of footy. And because, same as when I sort of threw Nadia in the deep end, it's like, I'm not spending time thinking about ticketing and who's...
He
and
loves to
that's
throw me in the
advice.
deep end.
It's like, mate, you gotta... to survive it, you have to, like, eliminate so many different things from your frame of mind and your perspective. And then when it all happens, it takes, like, 6 months for it all slowly to be like, wow, okay, that was crazy. And your dad to soak it in and to then realise, like, how special it'd be for your dad or your mum who's, like, spent every Sunday
Watching
driving
you play.
training for 20 years and all that kind of stuff. So at that time, it was just like, it was such a crazy time in my life. And I'm so glad that you were there to share it with me. And that was almost like happened in, you know, parallel with us being like, oh, okay, like this is the good life. This is good.
I think
We're
that
working
night we
together
actually
here.
told each other. I remember going home that night and I was exhausted because I was so jet lagged. And I was like, we partied after and I was like, I actually have to go home. I'm so tired. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to leave you here with all your friends because you had all your friends there. And I remember going back to the hotel, went back to your room. And I think I cried because I was so overwhelmed and happy and, like, so tired, but just so happy for Tom. And I think we actually messaged each other. Like, we hadn't said I love you properly in person, but I think I was like, I love you. He was like,
so sweet.
I love you too. And then we said it maybe, like, the next day. But, yeah, I remember we were both just like, this is crazy, crazy time.
It was such a crazy time.
I think there's a couple of songs that are around that time we can go to, and then I want to get stuck into what's happening now.
Okay, cool. But can I give this a bit of context? Because one of the songs...
I've done it to you again.
On the playlist, I'm going to... like, what it means to me is it's the song that I just described. It was like the song that hallmarks the time where I was like, I love Nadia and this is going to be my wife. Like, I'm in love with this woman, and almost like making the decision. You know, like, oh, hang on, okay, it's a year and, yeah, we're going to move in. Like, what am I doing here? And, like, I at some stage was like, yeah, no, I'm fully in and I'm going for this. Because, like mentioned, we had a bit of an age gap and it wasn't, like, just a normal relationship. It was like, no, we're going to go do things and move in and have a family and, like, grow up. And this song that's a Kate Renata remix is just the time where I was like, yeah, I love Nadia and I'm going to take you there in song.